Okay, book babes, stop whatever you're doing because today's guest episode is about that book, the one that's absolutely taking over Book Talk, the one that everyone's calling the best romantasy of 2025.
The Ascended isn't just trending, it's taking over. We're talking #1 in new adult college fantasy on Amazon, number 42 in the entire Kindle store, and sitting pretty at 4.6 stars on Goodreads with over 5,000 reviews.
And today we've got the masterminds, Bree Grenwich and Parker Lennox, the best friend duo who built the world that's currently making readers everywhere go completely feral.
So get comfy, get cozy, let's get into The Ascended. And don't worry, we are going to keep this episode spoiler-free.
Bree and Parker, we've heard you guys call yourselves platonic soulmates, which same.
So give us the quick intro for
that.
anyone meeting you for the first time. Who you are, how you met, and how this wild writing partnership began.
So we met when we were I think Parker was 19 and I was 20. So a long time
That's at least when
ago.
we became friends.
Right, yeah.
We had kind of known each other maybe a year before that, through
Yeah.
Drew, but
Yeah. So her other close friend at the time had taken my senior photos. And so then Parker was also a photographer, and we just kind of met through that, and we really enjoyed doing photography together, and coming up with cool photo shoot ideas and concepts and stuff like that. So that's kind of how we became friends, was through that creative outlet. And then just through other creative outlets, we started playing Dungeons and Dragons together, and that's kind of what spawned.
we started a business together 10 years ago, and so we've just we've constantly been together for the last decade, on the phone 7 to 12 hours a day. Even if we're not talking, we're just constantly aware of each other.
Yeah. Wait, what's this business? What's this cute little side of this? Or is it not side even?
So
So
we
it's
own.
si-
Oh, go on.
It's not side. Oh, you can. It's hard to say what it is because we're trying to transition a little bit more into writing full time.
Fair.
But this has been our main job for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we own
Wow.
a modeling agency. So
That's
we
amazing.
find models and then we send them off to Paris and Milan and London, and sometimes we get to travel with them and go to the fashion shows and stuff. So yeah, it's good.
Guys,
It's really cool.
My jaw is on the ground. I did not
Same.
expect this.
That's incredible.
It's so
You guys-
random.
You guys are so chic. I'm they're going to Paris and Milan. No big deal. That's
It's
amazing.
not as glamorous as it seems, but we do love all of our model babies.
So
Yes.
where did the switch from modeling to authors happen?
through Dungeons
D&D.
and Dragons. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Love
we
that.
we're meeting every single Sunday for over 4 years with our group, and obviously that gave us plenty of time to come up with majestical, fantastical
Mhm.
characters and worlds in our heads, and we were going to be some of the characters that we have written about were past characters, and some of the characters were characters we were hoping to play in the future.
Wow, that's amazing. I love the harnessing of the creative energy together from 19. Even having that vision to just say hey, we are both creators and we could do this together and start a business is unreal.
We really are soulmates, I feel because it's just when you say friendship too, it's feels like maybe that doesn't even
Yeah, it doesn't cover
equate
it.
to what it is, but yeah.
Yeah,
Fully,
I mean,
Cassie and I know things about each other that our husbands/boyfriends don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, correct.
You guys get it.
Yeah, we are the same.
Yes, completely. I can feel it in the room. So for anyone who hasn't picked up the book yet, can you give us the quick spoiler-free elevator pitch for The Ascended? What's the vibe? Who should read it? And what kind of emotional damage are people signing up for?
So the vibe is trials, revenge, gods,
Starlight powers. which
starlight
Mm.
We're
powers.
very excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with an MMC with necromancy, very dark shadow daddy vibes.
Mhm.
And really, it's just following Theus and her twin Thatcher. They get kind of brought into these trials and are forced to compete, and they have a revenge goal to take down the big bad.
We feel like the bond between them is really like the thing that holds the whole book together too. Like, and
Yes.
we always wanted that to be a very important part.
Oh, yeah. We have some questions about that later on. But I do think that we could get into our first section cast, don't you think?
Yeah, we'd love to get to know the two of you more as people and readers before we get into the book. So if you guys are game, we would love to play a little game called Who's Most Likely To, which will just be fun, rapid fire questions for you guys to give listeners a feel for your vibe.
I love it. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Okay. No overthinking. No, you have to just like go with your gut, even if it's harsh. So
Okay.
clock in.
Clock
Okay.
in.
Clock in. Who is most likely to write a classic romantasy trope?
Yeah.
Me.
Bree.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Okay.
what's a trope? Is it one bed?
Yeah, like one bed. I always am gonna go for enemies to lovers.
That'll
Yeah.
never get old,
No,
realistically.
it can't.
Ever. It can't. Sorry. I'll be reading that when I'm 212 because that's how long I'm living.
Okay, who's most likely to have a crush on their own character?
I mean, I
Bree.
definitely have a crush on our MMCs. So yeah.
Oh. I need to know who. Is it all of them? Or do you have a
Do you have a
top?
favorite?
Literally probably all of them. Like even some of the bad guys, I'm like, but you know what? Like they're hot.
Yeah. Yes.
Cassie
So-
loves a villain trope. Cassie loves a hot villain.
I love a bad boy. Like everyone keeps talking about Zayden turning evil and how awful that is. And I'm like, thank God. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Like bring it on.
Bring it on. So also I'm in love with all of your MMCs too. So you really write a lot of good men, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
Thank
Who
you.
is most likely to make the playlist before the plot even exists?
Bree.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
happened every time.
Did
Every
she
time,
make
like
the
before the book.
she made the full playlist for The Ascended? Like by yourself?
She made most of it, and then randomly we'd hear songs and add it to it. But yeah, the playlist was done, I would say, at least written down in her notes or something for before we started writing The Ascended.
Wow.
I love that.
Who
Respect.
is most likely to come up with fan casts for their own characters?
We both do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah,
The
we both do.
audience
And
is
usually they're the same.
curious. The audience is curious later about what these fan casts are going to be, so keep them top of mind.
Okay.
I too am curious. Who's most likely to work into the wee hours of the morning or start working at the wee hours of the morning?
Parker.
Mm.
Yeah. Parker
What
will
are
just
the
keep on.
What are the bedtimes looking like?
She goes to sleep early. I stay up late, and sometimes I don't sleep at all.
Yeah.
When I'm working on a project, it's
that.
really hard for me to take focus off of it. Like
Yep.
when I was redoing our website one time, I just stayed up for 48 hours, and that's all that I did.
And then also Parker, when she is like stuck on something and she goes to sleep, her dreams will be about doing the thing. So it's like
She
she's
feels
still
like I
doing
got
it
no
no matter
rest anyway.
Yep. I totally get that. When I first started working, I would dream about Excel, and that was more of a nightmare, I would say. So
Yeah. A lot of times they are nightmares.
True.
Okay, who is most likely to book a spontaneous weekend trip?
Parker.
Mm.
That feels right.
Been doing that a
To
little bit the
France?
last few days.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so I spent half the year in France, and so these are trips from France to other places that I've been planning.
What's the next one?
So we're gonna go to Switzerland
Oh,
for New Year's.
Oh,
my
that's
gosh.
so awesome.
that's going to be
I'm really
incredible.
excited.
Who is more romantic out of the two of you? And who's more of the adrenaline junkie, like always needing a crazy cliffhanger?
I think I'm the most romantic.
Mm,
And Parker's the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
That's a good balance.
So when you were writing, did you take a lot of the romantic scenes because you're the romantic?
So we've kind of shifted our writing style to where we now write like every chapter together, but
Ooh.
I would say that I am always the one that's like more romance, like let's add some kissing like now.
I feel like you also like when
My
we're
kinda
in the
gal.
plotting stages, you have a lot of ideas for like different romantic like encounters and stuff too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the one
You-
that's always like, what if we twist it this way? What if we
Yes.
stab them in the throat here?
And then I'm like, oh, yes.
Absolutely.
We have some questions for you now that are less of like who would, who wouldn't, and just some questions we want to know about you as writers. So the first question is, which book made you guys want to start writing Romantasy? Like you were like, this is where we need to jump in.
So I would say that it probably went like pretty far back for me when I decided that I would like to write a book. And I guess Romantasy specifically, it would be like the House of Night series. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was like marked. It was kind of like because we were both obsessed with like boarding school books and stuff. And this
And
one
we
was
also
like,
love Twilight. So it's like
yes,
Same.
with the vampires.
yeah. So it was like a witchy vampire boarding school.
I love that. I am
Yeah.
so bad at like Romantasy series names. Like I only know the name of the first book, and that's how
Yeah.
I think the series is called. So
I think
have
this
to
book
look
was
this up.
called Marked, the first one,
Yeah,
but
the first book.
it was young adult.
yes, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, I actually just looked it up and I remember the book covers. I don't even remember the names. I always remember the covers.
There's so many of them now. I don't think either one of us ever like finished the series. But
Yeah,
It
like,
looks
we
like
did it.
there's literally 12 on here. So
Yeah. I think I got
That's
maybe
fair.
like 5 in.
What is one trope that you will always say yes to?
definitely enemies to lovers, and I'd say it kind of I'm not saying you have to do it with enemies to lovers, but it goes really well together as forced proximity as well.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
I also
that.
love
do
the
love that.
training trope. If we can
Mhm.
add in any sort of training.
Yes, yes.
I
We
love
a
a
sweaty
sparring trope. Yep.
A sweaty,
Sweaty.
sparring specifically.
Pin you to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dagger
Yeah.
to the throat.
Yes.
It's the best. What would you say that your biggest romantasy icks are? Maybe even just as a reader or as writers as well.
The first one that came to mind, I don't know if I want to say it. Do you
That's
know what
fair.
I'm thinking?
I think I know what you're thinking.
Okay, this isn't necessarily, it's just romance in general or anything.
Okay.
I can't, like, bodily fluids are not something that, like, are,
Oh.
biggest ick for me ever.
Oh.
Wait, so with this, do you hate when they describe being able to smell a woman's desire?
Yeah. Yes.
Because I hate that.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you hate that too. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I shouldn't want people to hate things, but
No.
I really love that you do.
That
No,
one
it's
doesn't do
tough.
it for me. Like, I do not need anybody scenting the smell of my vagine.
Fair.
Yeah, I hate it.
That's so fair. I don't
I
have
couldn't
many
agree more.
icks. I am like, I don't have like many like triggers or icks. I'm just like all for it.
Okay, Bree.
I feel the
Challenge
same
us.
way, Brie. I'm like the other day we were reading a book and she's like, "Why are they always eating soup before they're about to like make out against a bookcase?
that.
Like their breath has to be terrible." And I'm like, the way that I did not think about that didn't enter into my brain when I was reading this scene. I was like, "Oh, they're fed. They're about to have a great time with each other. Like that's awesome."
I'm sorry if you've ever written a soup scene, but the thought of like thick stew around somebody's mouth and then making out is absolutely appalling.
You know what? We'll make sure that we never do.
If you ever write a soup scene, it will not bother me. Just know that. Next, we would love to know what your book boyfriend lineup is. If you can give us your top 3, we'd love to hear it.
My number 1 is probably Dorian from Throne of
100%.
Glass.
Yeah.
And then number 2 is probably Rowan from Throne of Glass.
3. Oh my God. Woman after my own heart. Please continue.
And then, I mean, I haven't read all of the books, but I did love Xaden and Fourth Wing. So,
Yeah.
This
That's a
all
great
tracks.
lineup.
This all tracks except for Rowan punching somebody in the face for love.
he was brutal.
Or please save the day for me. Who's your top book boyfriend?
It's hard because like I don't want to be selfish and pick our own because like we obviously we made them, so we made them what we want, you know, our
I didn't know
ideal
that was an option.
person. I know.
That's fair.
I feel like it shouldn't be. I mean, if I had to, okay, I'll do this. I'll say Zayden. I really love him. And then I'll also say I'm gonna pick one of ours, but I have to pick one. So
Pick one.
Aether, I guess.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
I'm like mad that Cassie's getting her way.
I love him. I love him. Okay, but were we wrong in thinking that Zool was giving Zayden vibes? Like, would you say that that is somewhat accurate? Because that was, I feel like, the first thing that Emily texted me when she was reading.
You know, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could
Or
see
is it
that.
just the exes that are tricking me?
It might be that too.
I want to give you guys a break from the personal questions and jump into a section we call Behind the Scenes, which is going to be about your book and what you're here to talk about. So we are going to start off with The Ascended, which is blowing up Book Talk right now. And we want to know, when did the light bulb moment come off that this was like your next story?
I mean,
It's been in the works for a while.
Yeah, we kind of knew that this was going to be happening even when we were writing Riftborne, because you know we've been putting these Easter eggs in, you know, since then.
Yeah.
But
We might not have had it fully like conceptualized, but we always knew this was going to be the book that came next. It was going to be next in the reading order with our universe, and we knew that we wanted like my character in D&D that we were playing at the time when we started writing Riftborne. I tried to focus a lot of her personality and abilities around like stars and like there's a specific spells that I thought were really cool, and so I was like, I really think it'd be awesome to have an FMC that's like power is star wielding. So
Yeah.
so we knew things like that.
Is it a spoiler to talk about her star power?
I think so.
It says it on the back of the book.
Yeah.
So
Okay, perfect.
And there's stars
I
on
was
the
like-
cover.
I was very impressed by her using star power because just as a reader, like you don't see that a lot. And I was like, how is this going to be harnessed? And I was like very pleased with how you guys wrote how the power was harnessed. Was that like a full
Yeah.
D&D thing or your own imagination?
A little bit of both, because
the idea came from D&D,
Mhm.
but I would say we definitely expanded on it a lot.
Is
And
this
what
D&D
I'm-
fanfic?
It would almost be too difficult to say that, because like every single probably D&D group could do this, like the same story, and they're going to
Yeah.
go on different adventures.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
That's fair. That's fair. So speaking of Theus, and you guys mentioned the twin main characters in the book, Theus and Thatcher. I loved that. I thought it was super unique, particularly the fact that they were a boy-girl combo. Would you say that they came first in terms of like how you were mapping out the story? Did the gods come first, or did the political backdrop come first? Because all of that was interwoven so well, where they all felt very prominent in their own right. So what would you say came first?
The gods had to come first, right?
I mean, we knew when we were planning everything, yeah, like the gods, but I would say before we knew that Thatcher and Theus were tied into that. So they definitely like came first as far as like the story.
Got it. And what was the inspiration for the two of them?
Thatcher was once again, you know, a character that was tied into one of our campaigns. And so really from that, I mean, I remember when we had this, it's kind of hard to talk about without the spoilers.
Sure.
But when we had the aha moment of, you know, how Thatcher was going to, you know, be in the books. I'm trying to figure out how to word this without spoiling anything.
That's
but
fair. Yeah, that makes sense. What would you say your inspiration was for their relationship as well? Because I felt like for a twin bond, like obviously they had this really beautiful relationship and friendship with each other, but there were kind of these like dynamics as well where there was protection, and then maybe like a little bit of jealousy in certain aspects, or like insecurity on certain things. And so how would you say that you kind of like wove that into the story?
Well, we definitely wanted it to be layered.
Yep.
Like their bond can't just be all like sunshine all the time. There have to be,
Right.
the secret feelings you keep to yourself. Like there's a little bit of jealousy in some aspects, and that's layered with Thatcher because he knows he shouldn't feel that way, like and he
Right.
says it's silly, but there's always I tried to think I guess we pulled from our own like relationships with people and siblings and stuff, but at the end of the day they're like twin bond. We just both of us are kind of like intrigued by the idea that like in everyday life, that twins share this bond.
Yeah.
People talk about it. People do these experiments to see like if
Yeah.
it's real or not. We really wanted to take that and just like make it magical. Like now they do have this telepathic
Yeah.
connection.
That was actually what I was most curious about, was like, where did you guys come up with just twins in general, and especially the boy-girl twin? Because I feel like
Right.
you would have picked two girls because you two are like soulmates.
True.
Yeah. I actually knew in school a boy girl twin pair, and they were like best friends, and so I always thought that was cool. And also, we just knew that there was going to be just a strong, like, I don't know, dynamic between those two. I mean, obviously, it could have been the same with two girls, but we just really felt strongly about trying to kind of like, switch that up and have just as a close of a bond with boy girl twins.
Do these
Another
strangers...
layer to that.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Another layer to that is that without spoiling anything, like one of like he had to be um a guy
Yeah.
because of how things,
Yeah.
You did. I'm like, go before I do something crazy.
Okay, I'm going to switch it back from non-spoilers. Do these strangers from high school know that they were the inspiration for your book, or are they just finding out right now?
I wouldn't even say they were necessarily inspiration. It was just kind of like I knew them, and they would probably just be finding out right now. Yeah.
This is going to be the talk of the Alabama town, 100%.
Yes.
I love that.
Speaking of names, this is something that always intrigues me too, is the long glossaries that often come and pronunciation guides that often come with these romantasy books. And I am dying to know how you all came up with these names and like how you were going to specifically pronounce them, because they're very unique.
So Thais is actually a bookstagrammer that we follow, and we were like, she has the coolest name, and we're not even sure if that's how she pronounces it, but
yeah, I don't think it is how but that's how we did.
That's how we did.
Cool.
And
yeah,
so,
we met her back when we were when Riftborne first came out, and we told her, we're like, our next FMC is gonna have your name.
She's probably thrilled.
Truly. I'm like, give me a better compliment.
For Zool, we kind of went back and forth between the name Zool and Azul, like the color. But Zool specifically, it's kind of funny, is a brewery that I like going to in Tennessee.
Wow.
So yeah, and I was like, oh, this is like a really cool name. I really liked it. But yeah, we went back and forth between the name Azul, and we just thought Zool sounded cooler and ended up feeling perfect for him.
That's
I love
awesome.
that. Cassie named her dog after a brewery.
I was literally just going to say that.
You don't have to. I'll say it for you.
That's right.
I love it. I love it.
If you guys ever have inspiration for the name Zuni as one of your characters, my dog and myself would really appreciate that. He's the best. A lot of our listeners are either romantasy curious, or they're just starting to explore the genre, where they've read ACOTAR, they've read Fourth Wing, but they don't really know where to go next. What would you say makes The Ascended a good next step for someone who might be newer to the genre? If you even think it is a good next step, too. I like that build.
I mean, I would say that it's a good next step, especially, if you like, Sarah J. Maas and how some of her worlds are connecting and things like that. We really tried to plan out this like vast universe. I think maybe some other authors that have, made really big worlds from what I know is like Jennifer Armentrout.
Yeah.
Like she also has, this super vast universe. So yeah, I would say if you really enjoy, finding Easter eggs and character like links and things like that, like
Yeah.
it would be a fun time.
Yeah.
And also, link there's only 3 books out right now, so it's not like you're starting
Right.
some people want to start a series that has all the books out already and there's 7 or 8 of them, but
Yeah.
like you can grow with us, if you start now.
Do you know
I-
how many you're going to have in total?
Yes.
7.
7.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's so exciting.
Get
Well,
right in, girls.
I agree. I think that's a big part of the allure of Fourth Wing, for example. Like when it came out, what was that, 2 years ago? Like I think a lot of folks that were romantic curious or newer to the genre did not feel as intimidated by that because it was like 1 or 2 books that they had to get into versus a whole world. And
Right.
speaking from being a pretty big vibes reader duo, The Ascended is great for those folks as well. So big plug there for you guys beyond
Yeah.
just the Easter egg folks.
The
Thank you.
whole trials aspect and the like getting ready for the trials, that was like what immediately drew me in to like keep reading, where I like couldn't put it down because it was like scratching my 13-year-old heart of like when the Hunger Games, when they're getting ready for
Yeah.
their trials. So like I just think that this could also be like very nostalgic for a lot of readers in their like millennial stage.
Yeah, like I immediately went to Goblet of Fire when I was reading these trials and like I went to Hunger Games. And so to that nostalgia point, like there's just so much in here that just made it so kind of core to I think a lot of the fantasy elements that people love.
That's
That
like
means so much.
those are like the
Thank you.
biggest compliments ever. Seriously, thank you.
Yeah.
Take them.
I mean, we're millennials
Thank you for writing
too.
the book.
Like,
Yes.
Okay, so speaking of writing these books, so you two said earlier that you write them together every single chapter, which I just cannot even imagine. That's insane. But you really can't tell that 2 separate brains have written these books. So can you tell us a little bit more about your writing process? Because I'm baffled.
So we like are the same person with the same brain.
Of course.
that's what you have to have first.
Of course.
Yeah, that you have to have first. Like we are on the phone from like the moment we wake up until like dinner time, and then probably like 1 or 2 calls even between like dinner time and bed.
I love
And the
that.
amount of plotting we do is a lot. Like,
Mm.
you could ask Hannah because she actually got to be a part of our last brainstorming session. But like, the next book that's we're writing is Realm Blade, and
Mm.
like we recorded our brainstorming session, and it was 4 hours, and we told her the entire plot of the book and everything that was going to happen, and we don't have it written down anywhere. We just know because we've talked about it. And so I don't even want to say that either of us have really great memories. I think it's when you have someone to talk to about things become like
Right.
canon in your head.
Yeah.
And so Hannah was just like, I'm shocked right now.
Yeah. So we basically plot like the whole story. We try to like almost each chapter create an outline so that we know exactly what we're getting into before we get into the chapter. And then we just kind of take turns like writing and typing. Like if we're like, having a brain fart or whatever, like the other person can pick up. And
Yeah.
so we kind of just bounce off of each other like that.
If
Is
one of us
the-
like gets in the zone, we just let him go.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like then we can like pick up later and be like, okay, maybe we went a little too far here or cut this, but we edit a lot as we go too.
Yeah.
Is there like certain words though that one of you uses that you'll like always be able to tell you were the one writing that sentence?
Maybe.
I'm
I'm sure there is.
I
We would
like
have to.
we need to know.
perhaps is like my favorite word somehow. I think that's probably
Ooh.
mine.
Perhaps.
When
I
I
like
do
that.
There
my
was one
reread,
paragraph
I'm
we had
gonna
to
look for
take it
that.
out 3
Yeah.
times.
I feel
I
like
get
I
very
write
dramatic.
smirked a lot. I'm always like, they're smirking. They're smirking for sure.
We love a smirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I keep reading, I am going to look for those words and it's going to
Fully.
make me feel good about it. There are words that Cassie uses that are only in her vocabulary and would quite literally never leave my mouth. And so that's why I wondered this.
Okay, you say that, and I have no idea what words you're talking about.
Cassie uses the word fodder, and I'm not even entirely sure what that word means, like from a dictionary sense. And I don't know how to use it in a sentence, and she uses it like 17 times a day.
I do use fodder a lot.
I love that so much.
Oh God! All right, now that's been brought to my attention. I'm realizing that I've said it like 4 times this morning already. Is there a line of dialogue that has stuck with the both of you that either you wrote yourself or the other wrote that just is like at the forefront of your mind?
Oh, the one that popped into my head is I can't remember exactly how we wrote it, but it's the like to bruise my knees for you, like that line.
Mhm.
Ooh,
We were
Yeah.
we're laughing so hard when
Yeah.
we came up with that.
I love that.
that's awesome. You guys are gonna get at that or have to get that tattooed at some point.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is very Book Bits Club coded, and so we think you're gonna relate to us, but we are absolutely like delusionally confident in ourselves as friends. Like we think that the two of us combined could pretty much do anything and make it work. So have you two always kind of had that kind of delusional confidence in each other where you're like, if we put our brains together, this is gonna take off?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. We're
And
delusional the
and it
majority
works
of the time.
out so much that we're like it, even if like we were delusional, it's like affirming it, and so it just makes us more delusional.
Yes.
There you go. That's how this works.
Yeah.
Also,
It's a base.
yeah,
Oh,
if
go
one
ahead.
of us isn't being like delusional enough, I feel like we hype up the other one to start being delusional.
Yes.
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 Speaking of that, how have you guys felt about your journey from Riftborne and Duskbound to the Ascended? I know that I think Riftborne came out last year, right? Or in 2024, actually.
Yeah.
And then Duskbound came out this year, and the Ascended came out this year as well. Like that's a very quick journey and quick pace. How have you guys felt about that?
I mean, it's
It's
been
become our full-time job at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Riftborne we wrote over a year, like on and off. There were definitely times where when we'd go 3 months without writing, I wondered like, oh, is that just some project we started that we're never gonna finish? I think we both felt like that. And so it's once that came out, it's like, okay, we know what we want to do for the next book. The next book was
Right.
like kind of the original idea, but do we write it if no one's going to read this one?
Sure.
Mhm.
So do you put the time in to start that next book? And then when we saw people were enjoying Riftborne, we're like, okay, like this is a real
Let's do
thing
it.
that we're doing now.
Yeah.
And it's just been full steam ahead.
and
since
so much fun, like, meeting people in the book community and just having people that like our ideas and like our
Yeah.
characters. It will never get old.
Oh,
I love that so much. I was just thinking about this with your D&D thing. I grew up in a household where I had brothers that played like Warhammer and Magic the Gathering. And so I grew up in like a very fantasy heavy household. And my brother is like a big fantasy reader, not romantasy. He's like a high fantasy reader. And something that Cassie and I have talked to him about a lot is that there's a bias in fantasy where like women authors like aren't as welcomed. And there's been authors in the past that have like changed their names to sound more masculine to be able to fit in better. And we wonder like if you've ever felt that bias or have any like advice for women authors in the genre.
I mean, yeah, we've seen that. Like, someone made a really great TikTok video about that. I can't remember the creator's name, but it was just like talking about how men write these like epic fantasies and all the relationships are either non-consensual or age. There's weird stuff going on with age. Like, not all of them, of course, but like that's such
not
a
all of them.
trend in them. And like women are over here writing like these epic fantasies as well that lean into romance, and that, you know, things are much more above board a lot of ways, like when it comes to like consent and
Sure.
age. And but yet ours is looked at as more flippantly. And it is annoying.
And we've had comments like, well, especially, you know, with the length of the Ascended, people being like, what's the point of having, you know, this long of a romance book, like a romantasy?
Why does a
And it's like,
romantasy have to be this long?
yeah. And we're kind of like, well, because like the romance is only like 20% of it. Like this is, you know, a fantasy book that has romance aspects.
Right. And then people look at all of the books in Lord of the Rings, for example, and probably don't even bat an eye at how long those are.
And you know, my advice is just, you know, I guess it would just be to ignore it. You're going to find your people, you're going to find your readers. And I have seen, you know, more men actually getting into the romantasy space, and they could learn a lot.
Yeah. I would agree. I just told my husband that the other day. So you have a lot of learning material at your disposal.
Like, here's some ideas.
Yeah. Go for it.
We actually do have friends whose husbands and boyfriends have read some of the romantasy books, and I do think they're better because of it.
I would agree. I totally agree.
I love that.
What would you say in terms of, because I think a big part of what I love about the FMCs that you write is that they are imperfect. They have these kind of growth journeys that they go on. They are people that you are able to kind of see every aspect of. And I think that is so empowering for a lot of women who would read these books. Are there any characteristics that you feel like you resonated with or that were reflected in your characters as you were writing them?
I know for Fia specifically in Riftborne and Duskbound, there was a lot of aspects of ourselves in her, like the anxiety and just wanting to be, you know, seen and those sorts of aspects. And then, you know, for Theus, she's like who we want to be, like this, you know, strong-willed powerhouse, you know.
I felt that very deeply when I was reading both of them. We would love to understand, speaking of fantasy and romantasy as a genre, and we mentioned earlier, the Trials is a very strong aspect within the genres. And a lot of times it can feel same in terms of how authors go about it. So, and you guys did it in a very unique way. So we'd love to understand what's a big way that you felt like you kind of zagged away from the standard.
So I personally have not read that many Trials books, but I know that there are a lot out there. I get told that all the time. And in fact, when we were plotting out the Ascended, I kept seeing things like, oh, I'm so over Trials. It's in every book. And I was like, oh, God. And so I feel like that was a big inspiration for us to try to make them really different, not to like, we wanted enough of them, we wanted them to feel important, they're vital to the plot, but it not just only be about them too. We wanted a balance. And we're working with you know, a very high arena. We're working with gods and a really powerful abilities. So we're like really try to get into that creative mindset of like, if I could just orchestrate anything, what would it be?
Sure.
And we really wanted to include like a lot of horror elements, like body horror, even like, you know, secondhand embarrassment moments, like these things where you're like feeling all of these emotions with, you know, the contestants. And we really tried to play with that.
Like physical danger, psychological danger.
Okay,
and then
I'm scared
add
of you
magic
guys.
too.
I would love to jump into some audience questions while we have some time, because our audience definitely went with some heavy hitters if you guys are ready.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay, the top question and what everybody wants to know from your mouths only. What is the recommended reading order?
The recommended reading order is Riftborne, Duskbound, and then The Ascended. But however, we did write these books where they could be read separately. We want people,
and we
if they
specifically sent them to people and said, we know you haven't read the other two yet. Don't read this one. And if you're going to talk about it, we wanted people to feel like it was accessible without reading the other two.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we didn't realize that all this discourse was going to start happening about that. People are mean to each other in comments about it. And so I just want to clarify that we did send arcs to people and we're like, don't worry about reading the other two first.
Yeah.
So
because we are trying to write them where if someone is just to pick up, the Asumerian duet, they will get a full story despite there being other things connected in the universe. And same with the Esprithian. They can read that trilogy and never pick up the Ascended if they don't want to. It's going to feel like a complete story. However, if you are to read them all together, it's just going to be this big, beautiful picture. So
I love that.
We went the opposite direction, reading the Ascended first, and we posted about it. And people have been feeling very strongly about that. They're like, no, you needed to do it the other way. And we're like, no, we can't go back in time. And here we are.
yeah.
But I do think as Vibes readers, as I mentioned, like it's been a really great experience because I have been able to see the Easter eggs basically like in reverse, which I have never been able to experience before. And I've loved it. I actually last night I highlighted a full page of dialogue because there were just so many Easter eggs in there. And I was like, this is awesome. So I will say, I liked that you guys kind of did it both ways when you were sending this out because I think there's a lot of people who will enjoy that.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. And we've got confirmation from others as well that it's still just as fun to do it the opposite way. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of your incredible FMCs, Fia and Theus, people would love to know how much of their powers have we seen? Like, what would you say percentage-wise of their powers have we seen so far?
Percentage-wise. What do you think, Parker?
I think for Theus, we're really just scratching the surface here. So I'd say maybe like 30 to 40%.
Ooh.
With Fia, we have 2 books, So I'd say with Fia's, we know a lot of things that she can. How do I say this? I would say maybe it's more like 70 to 80 with Fia, but like with caveats that would be spoilers. So sorry.
But Realm Blade is going to be awesome.
Oh, I can't wait. Which, speaking of Realm Blade, I know that's the next one in the Esprithian trilogy, the last one in the trilogy. But folks wanted to know on the Asumerian duet if you guys have started plotting book 2 yet.
We know what's going to happen. So what we have like the idea, kind of like how we said when we plot, it's like spiral sessions on the phone. But usually like when we're about to, really get into the writing, we'll actually, try to get it on
It's
some
mind
form.
plotted. No.
Yeah, it's mind plotted.
Got it. Okay.
Well, you guys work fast, so I am sure we won't be waiting long.
Hopefully not. We're trying to get it out there as fast as possible.
No pressure. Yeah, we appreciate you. Don't pressure yourselves. You have a lot going on. Back to the dream casting that we mentioned earlier. Can you give us a little like fan cast of Theus or Thatcher or Fia for like an HBO adaptation? Like we're high budget. You can have whoever you want.
Okay. I love this.
We definitely have a cast.
Yeah,
for sure.
of course. I don't know like timeline wise, it would be like if we could. So for Theus, we think that Phoebe Tonkin would be perfect, but like her in the originals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You just blew my mind.
I forgot about her.
I did too.
Yeah, she's like our perfect Theus visually.
Yeah.
And then for Thatcher, it would be, we really like Christopher Briney. Is that how you say his last name? He's in
Conrad from The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh,
So it's like,
Oh,
so it's like between him and like Bill Skarsgård, which they kind of look the same
We
to me.
think they look alike, which
I
is
think they
like
favor.
they
that's our
do look
type.
alike. They're both like young Leonardo DiCaprios, basically.
Yeah.
I'm
know?
taking Bill Skarsgård every time, though. I mean,
I mean,
please.
Come on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Can you throw in one for Zool if you had one?
So it's a model. His name is Brian Whitaker.
Ooh,
Immediately goes to
And
Google.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, him in like 2018.
Oh,
But like he's
that
still
is
gorgeous
so,
now.
that is so specific.
I know. Well, like he has
I just Googled this man and my jaw is on the ground.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
very handsome, perfect Zool, and then for Fia, we've always said Anya Taylor-Joy, like with
Ooh,
her
yeah.
blonde hair.
She has
I
such
see
a
that.
fantastical face. Like she could be a cartoon character.
Yes.
It's true. That
So
is
she
true.
works so well for fantasy.
Agreed.
Well, last big audience question that's on everyone's minds.
Oh yeah.
Our audiobook for The Ascended.
We
Is there
need it.
one in the works? We are foaming at the mouth for it.
We are working
So-
towards it.
It'll happen. And maybe we could take this time to kind of explain
Yeah.
why it's not in production yet. So with Riftborne and Duskbound, we self-produced both of those audiobooks. So we
What?
casted, yeah, and I mean, they obviously, the voice actors recorded them and they were incredible, but like we didn't go through like a company like Podium or something to do those. We're hoping to sell the rights too.
Okay.
The audio.
Just to have someone else produce it.
because
Because
it's a lot.
it's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
Oh my gosh. Well, the Duskbound audio, I think, is one of my favorite that I've heard this year. And I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Like the entire production is incredible. The voice actors, the way that you guys selected them are unbelievable. So the fact that you guys did that on your own while also continuing to write this universe is unbelievable.
Oh, and also have
Well,
full-time
thank you.
jobs.
Oh, yeah, that too. And be people.
It's too much. And keep like healthy relationships. Like bravo.
Yeah.
Wow, you make us sound so impressive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remind myself of all of those things you just said.
100%.
Well
Most
said.
people are barely making it through their like 9 to 5 and feeding their dog every day. You guys are
True.
on top of the world.
Truly. Truly.
Thank you.
I actually did have one more question because Emily and I are self-proclaimed witchy witches.
Oh.
And we'd love to understand if there's something on you guys' vision board that is maybe like top of the mountain, or it can be something that's next where you're like, we are manifesting this for ourselves and this is where we're going next.
I mean, just, more bestsellers, like manifesting that, manifesting like a big billboard somewhere in New York or something. That would be
Ooh.
like, that'd be dreams.
I love that. I had to make you
Mhm.
say it out loud so that we could all collectively manifest
Yes,
it. for you.
collectively manifest it. I
So.
love that you guys love the witchy stuff because yes.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us here. We learned a lot. We are even more excited, if that was even humanly possible, for what's next in Asumerian. And we just wanted to thank you for creating these characters, this world, these books that have brought us so much joy, have brought the entire book community so much joy, and we cannot wait to see what you guys do next. So if you want to share any final details about either the book or the launch that you want your future readers to know or about yourself, please do so.
I guess just a huge thank you. Like, I mean, any of the success that we are experiencing right now is really just because people like believed in us and our story and took a chance on it. And like, we could not be more thankful to both of you and to everyone that's read it, picked it up or downloaded it, even if you haven't read it yet. Like, all of that counts towards this like greater collective. And so
Yeah.
that means can't put it into words really as I stumble
Yes.
over mine.
Well, I am obsessed with you both. I have to say that. And also, yes,
Likewise.
Thank you to all of our readers, and just know we have like so many more surprises and twists and turns and cliffhangers to come.
Oof, I'm nervous. I just got chills.
Oh,
Well,
same.
listen, the universe is on your side. You two are doing so much hard work, and we appreciate you for it. And we cannot wait to watch your success.
Yes. All right. So for anyone listening, go pick up The Ascended. Do
Yes.
it right now.
Homework.
Read it immediately. Homework. It's not even homework because you're going to thank us for this. And please join us next week. We'll be covering off on our next book that we're spiraling over. But again, thank you, Bree and Parker, and we'll see you all soon.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.